Hi there, it's Barbara from Art and Soul Insider. Welcome to our creation time. So hopefully you're doing well today. Today here in my world, it is a bright, sunny day and spring is coming, which is a wonderful thing. I live in northern Alberta, so when I say spring is coming, it's a good thing. But every day is a good day. You can always find a blessing. I try and, one of my sayings is the sun is always shining, even if it's behind a cloud. You know, it's still there. It's still shining. So there's always a blessing in every day. We just have to look for it. So enough of that. Welcome to today, and what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be, I've got a supply to share with you, a supply that you know of, but you know what, if you want to increase your kit, your artistic toolbox as such, this is a way to do it. I would highly recommend these. And then the next thing is we're going to do a guided meditation called the ocean, and then we get to play. And today's playing is going to be a little bit of an abstract. It's going to help us with our creativity. It's going to be probably even a little minis for a larger abstract that we can do. So yeah, it's a unique technique that I think you'll like, and as I said, it'll push you in your creativity. So that's a wonderful thing, because if we can push our creativity, then what we can do is we can open our minds up to new possibilities and possibly new ways of creating, which is really good. So enough of that. Let's get going. One thing I forgot to mention is that this is a class that is a mixture of art and wellness together. That's what I do. I kind of mix the two together so that you are given a class where you can find the time and the space to reclaim your joy and express your creativity. So this is you time. And if you like that idea, please give it a thumbs up, and please give it a subscribe, because if you subscribe, then more people can find my little world, and that I can share things just to make them better artists and hopefully just find a little relaxation and joy in their life. So thanks again. Okay, so here's the supply I'm talking about. This is a micron pen. Now, what is a micron pen? It's actually this brand. Whoops, I almost lost it there. I'll get this one. This is a Pigma micron pen. It has archival ink, and what it says here, it's micron pigment ink for waterproof and fade-proof lines. And not only lines, but fine lines. This set that I have and this set here, they can produce really fine lines. And that's what you're wanting if you're wanting to do a technical drawing, or even, say, a drawing cross-hatching or hatching or pointillism. And we'll get into that. We'll do some works with that type of technique, but not today. But anyways, this was invented by Sakura 30 years ago. So it's kind of a recent invention. It's a disposable pen. Okay, so before they weren't disposable with these technical pens, but these are. Once the ink is done, then you can just I don't think you can recycle them. I think you have to throw them out. But this is the brand. It's Sakura Pigma Micron, and it's the most reliable permanent ink on the market. And it's a technical pen that writes very small and fine lines, as I said before. And what's really great about these is that they're waterproof and they dry fast. So I can draw this line here, or a couple lines. Okay, and if I want to say, add some paint here, I can add some paint without any fear of this bleeding. Isn't that awesome? I think it's just great, because I've actually used these pens with my artwork, with, say, watercolor paints and inks. I've used them with, and it works really, really well. Now, the key with these, and I have been known to actually use them incorrectly in the fact of how to store them. Usually I store them, you know, here's my pens and a few brushes, and I usually store them like upright like that, right? Well, you're not supposed to. What they recommend is you actually store these horizontally. So that means just like how you store them on a table like this, how they are right now, that is how you would store them. The reason why is when they're vertical, when they're like this, the ink settles on the bottom and it dries out the tip. And the tips are what make these really special. What makes them special is because they are a variety of sizes. So there's different sizes, so let me go through them here. This one is the brush. So BR for brush. Okay, and it has kind of a brush-like tip there. This one is, I believe, 1. So this means it is 1 millimeter. Okay. This is 0.5. So this is 0.5 of a millimeter. And how you can tell the numbers is they're always on the top of the cap here. Okay? This one is, I believe, 0.3. Yep. 0.3. So they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. This one is 0.2, I believe. Yes. 0.2 or -2, what I wrote there. My hand kind of slipped there. Then there is 0.1. Yep. So look how tiny that is. Really, really tiny. So 0.1. So this is if you were wanting like to do, oh, those people that do renderings in for architect and stuff like that. These are perfect. Or landscape architecture. This is 0.05. You can hardly see that. That's like the diameter of a hair. And 0.05. So you get these wonderful possibilities of these variety of these thicknesses to use at your disposal on whatever you see fit. And again, these are waterproof, so you can draw a line through your watercolor, and I mean, it might not show because it's so thin, but you know with the quality that you can go whatever one that you want, and it'll just stay there. It won't bleed. So isn't that wonderful? The reason why I brought these out is because there's other people that are getting onto the market as well. So this is by Ganya. I got this from Temu, okay? And again, they have, just to show you, all the numbers as well, okay? Except for here, I get a 2 and a 3. So it's a 12-piece set. I get these 2 extra. You can buy them into sets of 3. You can buy them in sets of, like this is the set 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. This is the set I bought, okay? So, and then this is a set of 12. So it has a few extra in there. So again, high quality pens. They're really good. I recommend them if you're looking to expand upon your, your toolkit, your artistic toolkit. I would add these. Again, these are a little bit more pricier. These do the job just as well, and they're a lot more economical. But again, the choice is up to you on where you want to spend your money. So That's great. So happy inking. So now what we're going to do is a guided meditation. So just sit back, find yourself comfortably sitting, sitting so that you won't be moving at all for the next couple of minutes, and just get your body nice and comfortable into that chair, into your seat. If you want, you could even lie down. I mean, that's a possibility. So the key is make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes and become aware of which parts of your body are feeling tense and which parts are relaxed. Now take a few deep breaths, taking the air in through your nose, holding it momentarily, and then slowly exhaling through your mouth. So take the air in through your nose, hold, and slowly exhale. Again, take the air in through your nose, hold it, slowly exhale through your mouth. With each exhale, you'll find yourself relaxing more and more deeply and more completely. Take the air in and let the air out, and allow yourself to relax. I'm going to describe a very vivid scene about the ocean. I want you to imagine the scene as though you were there experiencing not only the sights, but the sounds, smells, tastes, and touches. Imagine you're walking on a beach. The warm grains of sand gently tickle your feet as you stroll along. Around you are sea oats waving their long-stemmed bodies in the ocean breeze. Overhead, you see more birds flying through the sky. Listen to the sounds of the birds. Your feet carry you to a place where you can sit comfortably and face the vast ocean. With the expanse of water before you, you breathe deeply in and out, allowing your body to relax. You feel the constant sea breeze touching every part of your skin and hair, waking away the sting from the sun's constant rays. The air wraps around you like a blanket, protecting you from the cool dampness of the beach. You smell the salt on the ocean water and let yourself relax as you watch the ocean stretching before you as far as you can see. Focus your attention on the ocean before you. Hear the waves as they crash onto the shore near where you sit. See how each wave builds to a crest, then falls onto the shore, becoming little bubbles of foam on the beach, leaving its landmark in the sand before retreating to that great body of water and cycle once again. Allow yourself to watch the waves as they form and fall, retreat and form and fall again. Fill your mind only with the rhythm of the ocean. for your attention on the waves as they rise and fall before you. Let the persistent motion of the waves fill your mind. Relax. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything. Simply enjoy the clear blue sky above, the sand beneath you, and the ocean beyond. Let the waves, the rhythm with which they pound the shore, mesmerize you. Be aware of nothing else, only the calming rhythm of the ocean. Be aware of the present, of the coming and going of each wave and the coming and going of each moment. Pay attention to the coming and going of each ocean wave. Now imagine walking back to the path that you came on. Again, you experience the warm sand underfoot, and you continue along the beach, feeling alert, refreshed, peaceful, and renewed. Give yourself credit for this positive experience. Take a full, deep breath all the way in, slow and easy, and all the way out. Each time you breathe, you feel more and more alive and more alert. When you're ready, stretch and move and open your eyes. I really was I was hearing the ocean. You know, when I was reading that, I was actually hearing the ocean, and it was very calming. I remember sitting, and I was very blessed to be able to go to Maui one year. And I remember going there at around sunset, and I just remember just hearing the water move and the sound of it, and just mesmerized by the sun going down, and it was just a beautiful moment. Yeah, I'll never forget it. And just, again, not only then, but other times, I just loved hearing the water, the rhythm of the water coming up and going back, coming up and going back. I mean, it was just a lovely moment and just a wonderful thing to experience. And I hope, you know, you can come back to this whenever you are feeling stressed in a day or when you need some time to yourself. Just come back and think of the ocean and just take in those deep breaths. Do your breathing in, hold, and then breathe out. And then just remember the ocean and the sights, the sounds, the touch, the taste, you know, things that you're hearing. I don't know if I remembered that one. But yeah, just everything, all your senses. What are you experiencing at that moment? And that will actually help you, and it'll ground you, and you'll feel so much better. Yeah, I know it works for me. So my hope is that it works for you as well. So there you go. So on to now our project. Okay, so here we are about to begin our project, and I put out kind of the general supplies you'll need. You'll need watercolors, okay? Your brush and your water, okay? You'll need some tape. I prefer the painter's tape. Okay, that comes off really easy. And then the pens. We're going to need some waterproof pens. And that's all we're going to need. So, We're going to do some line work. And you know what I forgot? One more thing. Marker. We're going to need a thicker marker today. So, yeah. So, let us begin. We're gonna begin with the tape first. Okay. So, one thing that we're going to be working on are different types of lines. And I'm going to get a pen here. There, we'll get the number 1. And lines show emotion. A lot of times we think, oh, lines are just lines. But lines actually do share an emotion. And so when you're working as an artist, you have to be aware of the lines that you're using. Because lines tell a person kind of a feeling and what type of feeling they're supposed to get from the artwork. So an actual line that is horizontal, okay, that gives a sense of peace, of calmness, of everything is okay, everything is all right. Think of the water, you know, of a lake and how smooth it is, okay? That gives a sense of peace. And then you have the vertical. So that's going straight up and down, vertical, and the vertical is strength, stability, okay? Think of a tall office building, okay? That has some strength and power to it. It's going straight up and down. It's a symbol of strength. And another one is diagonal, okay? A diagonal one is actually means movement or growth. So if you're trying to show movement in your artwork, you're going to be using a lot of diagonals in your artwork. That's going to help actually give a sense of movement in your work so that it'll just look like it's moving. It's just amazing that it's so true with how it works out. So that's some of the lines that show emotion. And now there's different types of lines, okay? There's the solid line, which is basically regular line, okay? Then there is the thick line. Okay, so we can make lines thick. Then we can make them thin. Okay? We can make them curved. We can make them coiled. We can make them zigzag. We can have a broken line. Okay? Parallel lines. We can have intersecting lines. We can have naturally straight lines. We can have wavy lines. We can have dotted lines. We can have spiral lines. And we can have bumpy lines. I don't know another word for that, but kind of bumpy lines. So therefore, you see how many lines you get? Just such a variety, right? So we're going to keep this on hand so that we can look at it in the future, because that's going to give us some clues on different types of lines that we can experiment and play with. So now back to the tape. So what you're going to do is we're going to tape all the way around. I've got a little mark on here. I think some ink came through the paper on the other page. I'm almost finished this journal. This journal, I really like it. It's a Strathmore journal. And it's a multimedia journal. I find they're really good. The paper's a nice thickness. So what we're going to be doing is dividing this into sections. And the sections are going to give us kind of a lot of tiny little picture frames as such. Okay? So now we're going to divide this into two. Okay, it looks like the center is a little bit smaller, but that is okay. This is just for creativity. This is just to get our minds going and stuff like that. So we're going to take the marker first. Oops, sorry. I'm so gung-ho on getting going and I forgot the next part. So we're going to divide 1, 2, 3, 4, probably into fours. I am eyeballing it. We might have a little small section on the bottom, but that's okay. Oh, we could have these bigger. Let's have them bigger. I'm changing it up, people. There we go. Divide it into 3 instead of 4. Well, there's 4 in total. I know what I'm doing, really. There we go. Put back this tape. There we go. There. Now I always like to press down to make sure that this is sealed because we want it to seal when we use the paint. Okay? So, as I mentioned, that little marks there. Oh, well. Okay. So now we're going to take the marker. The marker is going to take one line all the way through this. Okay? Now, we're going to just do any type of line. We're not just going to do a line like this. We're going to do curved lines coming in, but it has to cover once. So this one doesn't have a line, so we're just going to do a line like that. My ink pen is kind of fading. It's getting to the end. And then this one will go like this and like that. One line through it all. Okay? So now what we're going to do is take our ink pens and we're going to do some drawings in here. Now, they're not realistic. They're going to be abstract. They're just going to be just lines. And what you're going to do is, again, use the variety of lines that we have to our disposal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, I have a favorite one. Favorite one is the 0.5 one. That's always my favorite. I don't know why, but it is. Just going to take a drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some out while I'm here with you, and then I might fast forward it so then it's a little quicker for you. Okay? So let's go. Variety of lines. Create a design that looks good in this section here. Okay, here we go. I'm I'm going to thicken this line up. Again, sometimes you want, like very much like the other one. Here I did a very similar line. I did parallel lines all the way through. I did groups of them. So in order to add variety, to make it a little different, I added, 4 lines or 5 lines here, 1 here, 4 there, and then that added a little variety, because if everything is similar, it becomes very boring to our eyes. Our eyes go, oh, there's nothing to see here. But if we add some variety, like what I'm doing here is I'm thickening a line, then what's going to happen is you're going to have some visual interest then. So variety adds visual interest because there's a sense of contrast, okay? When everything is too similar, there's a sense, has a sense of unity, which in your work, you do want a sense of unity. So I'm adding a little variety. I've made it thicker. Here, they're all the same, except for there's some thickness. There's some thick lines. Here, I'm adding variety in the fact that there's greater space now in between these guys. So again, we're using mostly lines. I mean, here I created a shape in here, but we want line work to actually tell most of the story. But if you want to add some more shapes, you do you. I think it's great if you do. So let's just take this line. I'm adding kind of a broken line with dots here. What am I going to do over here? See how this is creative? You're really having to think about what are you going to do with this spot. Now I'm wanting to maybe add a different contrast. Something maybe, I'm thinking this way. And then we'll have this space here. Okay, so now we're going to take our watercolors. So, watercolors, and we're going to add, just not paint it, we're going to paint it more in areas, in sections. It's not going to be specific, okay? It's just, yeah, just section off your colors. So, I think I'm going to use this blue. So I'm going to actually do all the blues first. I think I'm just going to work that way. Notice how the ink, whoopsie, notice how the ink isn't doing anything. It's just as it is. It's staying perfect. Try not to think. I'm thinking too much here. I just want to let it go. And there we go. I was thinking too much about that one, and I was going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You want to be quick. Let your intuition guide you. There's no right, there's no wrong. There's just what you're going to do. And that's the beauty of this thing. Yes, you spent some time doing it, but then again, it doesn't have to be, we're not about perfection. These are just playing. These are just letting your creativity go. Just really just focusing on playing. Just having fun. Just having fun. There, and now I'm going to use a contrasting color. I could use a bright green. I kind of like green, but I think I'm going to go for orange. Orange is the opposite of blue on the color wheel. So it's the strongest contrast you can have. It's outside the lines. I'm okay with that. There you go. So I didn't even follow. It was all circle, circle, circle. So I made my own circles with the colors. I didn't follow the pattern. I'm going to do this whole section. So kind of on the opposite ends. And I'm going to do little dots. They're not perfect little dots, are they? It's okay. It is okay. I want to do the inside lines here. There we go. I want to do a circle coming in from this side. Very similar to what I did on the other side. I did a circle coming in. go. Really quick, fast with that. Now I'm going to take the blow dryer and dry these babies. There we go. So now let's take off the tape. So then what you can do is you can look at these individually and say, okay, does it have a focal point? Does it have, is there a sense of balance? Is there a sense of unity? Is there a sense of contrast? You know, you can look at all those elements or principles of design and go over them. I'm thinking of possibly doing a principle of design. So learning about balance, contrast, unity, that type of stuff. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know in the comments, because, you know, we could do something like that. So in order for you to help you learn about those, because those are very important things to learn with concerning art, because it's those things that kind of make the art. So there you go. Here's our little miniature abstracts. Looks cool as actually a whole. I mean, talking about enlarging it, you can enlarge the whole page. It'd look really cool to as an art piece, you know? Really cool. There's some that are really neat. I like the designs. Some, I think, they're okay. But you know what? That's the beauty of doing an exercise like this. It's just to play, to be creative, to get more into your intuitiveness, not thinking so much. It's just to create and just to play. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a lot from it. I know I had a lot of fun. It really did help relax me because it's very repetitive in what you're doing. So yeah, I'd love to see yours. If you can attach a photo, that would be great. And if you can't, well, we'll figure something out. I would love for you to send it to me via the good old email services. So there you go. Well, there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I really got a lot out of it. I really was able to kind of zen out when I was doing it, which was really great. And it was fun, you know, just to challenge yourself on how you can do things a little differently with each line. So there you go. You know, the thing with art, and what I believe is art heals. I've come through some very tough times in my life, and art has always been there for me. In the fact that art helped me release my emotions, art was able to kind of give me a space to think and to breathe. So I really do believe that art heals, and that more art, less stress. So if you believe that, please give it a like, and please, 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 subscribe and let others know, because to me, the more people that know about this, the better, because we're going through some pretty tough times right now. And I think the more people that can have a little reprieve in their day can really benefit from something like this. So you don't have to be an artist, or you can be a seasoned artist. Well, the beauty of this and the projects that I do is that it's to help you just relax and just to play and then go from there. So there you go. So if you're interested, I've got a great freebie, and it's called the acrylics, beginner's guide to acrylics. There we go. Had to think about that for a minute. And it's just packed full of stuff. And so all you have to do is go www.barbaralynnburns.com /beginners-guide-to-acrylics. Again, I had to think about that. It's all those dashes. But yeah. But again, it's right on my page on YouTube here. So all you have to do, instead of remembering that, is just click it. So there you go. So continue with wellness, I send you, and continue with joy. I wish you all the best, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Light and love.